Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the new Marvel Legends 2-pack featuring Rogue and Pyro. And this is a 2-pack which I was very excited about when I saw that they were making it. I don't know about you guys. Do you care about this kind of stuff? Do you care about X-Men stuff? For me, it's all about the X-Men stuff. Sure, I'll buy some Iron Man and Captain America stuff here and there. In fact, I buy all of the stuff. But X-Men is where it's at for me, so the more X-Men, the more better. And this set happens to be a really good set. It's along the lines of the Dark Phoenix Cyclops 2-pack. This is exactly what I think Hasbro needs to do if they're going to keep releasing 2-packs. They need to be this kind of setup, and I'm going to go through what makes this good as we go into the review. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. And this guy stands to the top of where his head would be, not his poofy hair. Let's say 6 1/4 inches, which makes him pretty close to 15.75 centimeters. And then Rogue, let's just do heights for both of them. Get that out of the way so I don't forget. Come on, camera, do your thing. There we go. And she is about 15.5 centimeters, a little bit more for the hair. And that makes her just about 6 1/8 inches tall. And there they are, side by side, just so you can get a height comparison. All right, now before we get into the aesthetic, let's go ahead and do our question of the day. This one's a simple one. X-Men or Brotherhood? Which one, which side would you be on? Which one has more characters you like, that kind of thing? Which one do you pick? I have to go with X-Men. I don't like most of the Brotherhood characters, in fact. Blob doesn't do it for me. Toad's gross. I like Pyro and Magneto. That's about it. Avalanche is okay. Whatever. You guys can tell me what you think. That's our daily question. That's what we're going to do for today's question. Okay. Pyro first. Let's do Pyro first. Let's talk about here. There's no benefit in comparing this Pyro to the old Pyro. This one beats that one. Hands down. For sure. Without a doubt. If you want a Pyro figure, get this one. Okay? That's not to say it doesn't have flaws. It has some flaws, and we're going to talk about them. But this one beats that one by a mile. Alright, so aesthetically speaking, the best thing about this guy is the head sculpt. Yeah, I've heard some people say he's got a really big forehead. I don't know. That could be optical illusion. It could just be the bug eyes. I'm not going to really worry about that too much. His mouth is really wide. Again, with a mask like this, it's kind of hard to say. It looks okay to me. It's fine. The hair is sculpted well. It has a nice wash in it that gives it a nice dynamic look. The paints on the face are basic but clean. I like the head sculpt a bunch. The collar piece is very basic. Backpack and everything, it's basic, but it's done well enough. We definitely could use some paint. We don't have it. We do have a paint line right here, and that is pretty clean. That's nice. The diamond is clean enough. They painted the orange parts on the forearms because they're molded in yellow. The orange is the right color, but it looks like cheeks. It's very poorly done. This one's not as bad on this side, but it's not great, that's for sure. The only other thing that really stands out for the... Actually, there's 2 more. Dang it, I forgot. Bummer. Okay, so this part right here is one color. This part right here is another color. It looks like he's got 2 different... Like he's wearing boxer shorts that are a different color yellow. Although it matches up here too, than his legs. It's a very noticeable difference. I don't know if it's showing up on camera. Some colors do weird things with the lights and the camera, the photo sensor, but very different colors in real life. And then lastly, they had to paint the red on here to match the boots. It's the right color red, but they did a terrible job painting it again. So definitely some drawbacks aesthetically for Pyro. I do think this is a good mold for him. They chose a good body. It suits the character. And it is, despite its shortcomings, one of the better sculpted molds. You can see the thighs have a little bit of meat to them. It's definitely kind of lanky and kind of like a skinned human type of look, but it's still a nicer mold, and it suits this guy well. So I'm going to give this guy, on the aesthetic front, I really want to say 8 because I like the head sculpt and the overall composition. These things hold it. You know what? I'm going to say 8. It's my review. If you don't like it, too bad. Definitely has flaws, problems. I pointed those out. I still like it. It's one of the better looking Marvel Legends figures that has come out recently. Maybe it's just because it's a classic character and they're better designed characters. I don't know, but this is a nice looking figure. We're going to set him aside. Let's go ahead and talk about the aesthetics for Rogue. I'm not sure people were as concerned with getting this version of Rogue as they were getting a new Pyro, but we got it. And I'm happy to say this figure has a couple of things on it that we're going to talk about, which just make me so happy. So happy. First of all, the white paint lines on this figure for like the X's and all the white paint lines, as I said, is pretty clear. they're just really, really well done. I don't know what it is with Hasbro. They have trouble doing things like just painting solid colors on body parts. They have lots of trouble with that. Things like straight lines, clean straight lines, they seem to nail almost every time. I don't know what their deal is. It's like they're just toying with me at this point. But the paint job on here, it's very basic, to be clear. It's essentially just white and green, a little bit of flesh tone. They did a really clean job with it. Zero shading, looks bland as hell, but very clean. So bonus points for that. The face sculpt, I'm not sure I'm in love with it. It's not bad. I don't know that it looks exactly the way I want her to look. It's kind of weird. They sculpted a little bit of a smirk to her, but it also almost just looks like the head got mushed. So hard to say there. And then the paint job in the hair is fairly eh. So I don't know about all that. It's good enough in that regard, but here's what I want to point out. We have new legs down here. They are pinless legs, which I don't, again, pinless is good, but I don't really care. I mean, pins never bothered me that much. But here's what I care about, and this is a big deal for me. Like a really, really big deal. Look at the legs. Holy crap, look at the legs. Look at the legs. Look at the legs. The thighs are thicker than the lower legs. The lower legs have the right shape to them. There's actual shape to the thighs. She's actually built like a female superhero. And she has gams. Look at those gams. Is gams butt cheeks? Or is gams legs in general? I don't know. I just use these terms because they sound funny. She's got cake. Or is it plural cakes? Does she have 2 cakes or is it 1 cake? Either way, she has pastries for sure. That is just, look at that. She has superhero shaped proportions from the waist down at least. We still have an old body up here and it doesn't look right. It looks very disproportionate. Her legs, like this is like superhero down here. And up here it's, it looks like lady going to the store. But these legs make me so happy. Plus, we're gonna get a new rogue. We have to get a new rogue using these legs. It has to be a thing. They sculpted boot tops on there. That has to be, and the strap right here. We're gonna get a new classic Jim Lee rogue. Oh, I'm so excited. But those legs are so freaking good compared to regular Marvel Legends legs. That's exactly what they needed all this time. She finally looks like a female superhero. It's just, oh, I'm so pleased that they made that decision to do that after 35 years of not doing it right. I know that's an exaggeration. But the upper body still doesn't look too bad. It just definitely could use an update to match the bottom half. But it still looks good. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for the legs, but the rest 8 out of 10. Okay, back to this guy. Nope, back to both of them for accessories. For Pyro, we have 2 different heads. We have the neutral head, and then we have the smirking head. Smirking head does look a little bit awkward. Again, bigger forehead, wide mouth. I don't know, it still looks pretty good to me. And then we get 2 fireballs that go on his hands. Does he do that much? That seems like the wrong accessory for him. I mean, I like fireball accessories for hands, but he shoots fire out of... Well, he can control fire once it exists, right? That's his power. He doesn't generate the fire. That's why he has the backpack. So why would his hands be on fire? Seems like a poor choice of accessory. It's going to look cool, but we should have like a shooting effect, right? Like a flamethrower type deal. Wouldn't that be a better accessory than his hands to be on fire? Am I way off base here? Am I totally remembering his character wrong? You guys can let me know about that, but they're still well enough done. As for Rogue, we have the neutral head, which comes on her in the package. Then we have the head making a face. I think that's a much better sculpt, and all around looks much better. Then we have the 2 fist hands that come on her, and we have 2 alternate hands of the same hands we've had for every other female character ever. Not the best accessories in the world, but it's a decent spread of accessories. So as a set, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Okay, for the articulation, we're going to start with Pyro here, get him out of the way. We have our classic hinge joint with a ball peg on top. The collar gets in the way a little bit, but you still get plenty of range. You just kind of have to account for it, and you'll be able to pose him. Characters with collars, it's just, they can fake it in 2D a lot easier than you can in 3D. So there's nothing you can really do to get around it other than just do it. You have to do it. Put the head in the right place. Don't make like the neck extra long or something like that to account for it. And they did a good job here. I mean, this is the best way they could have done it, so that's fine. We do still have our butterfly joint in here. Mine's kind of loose. Shoulders are really nice on this. They work just fine. Full rotation, of course, other than where the shoulder pads are. So those will obviously get in the way. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. That's all standard, except we still get very tiny range right here. Only 90 degrees out of a slim figure with a double joint. That doesn't really make sense. Wrists, swivel, and hinge. Ab crunch still works, no problems there. This flexes enough that you will be able to pose him. Waist twist is fine. Hips go out to the side less than 45 degrees going forward. They go pretty far, but they do come out at just a little bit of an angle. They don't really go back. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is fine. Shin swivel is one of the better ones because it lines up when it's not in use. So if you don't like it, don't use it. Foot goes all the way back. Very soft joint right there. Soft as in not tight. I should say loose, but it's not loose, it's just not tight. It doesn't go very far forward. That sucks. You can't pose them as well as you'd like. Let's see, can we force it? Yeah, okay, so that's a little bit better. That's fine. And then it is one of their best swivel hinge ankle rockers. So articulation on this guy is one of the better for Marvel Legends. It's nothing crazy. I'll give it an 8. On to Rogue. These 2-packs sure take a lot of time to review, and I'm going fast. All right. I've been told I talk too fast in these reviews, but if I don't, I can't get enough in time. Does it bother you guys? Have you noticed that I talk too fast? All right, she has lollipop coming out the wazoo. Actually, it's just her neck. Her neck has a lot of lollipop. Her wazoo, we're just going to leave it out altogether. I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. Lots of lollipop syndrome, but the head is at the right height. Like, that looks normal. Just you can see inside. So don't touch it. Just turn it side to side and you'll be okay. You can lean it a little bit. It has surprisingly little range for being a lollipop. It does have the hinge on there, which can be used, but I wouldn't. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's a messed up neck. Shoulders. She's got those big shoulders that we see sometimes. They still get up to horizontal. They work, so that's all right. Full rotation. Bicep swivel is down here at the single jointed elbow, which is just about 90 degrees, maybe. Still very basic range. Wrist have a swivel and a hinge. You know what? I'm starting to wonder, why don't they just... Actually, never mind. I was going to say, why don't they just make the fist hands just one solid piece and don't add the hinge? But you don't really want to make the peg that goes into the arm out of the same plastic you make the hands out of. So that they might as well just keep doing it like that. Okay, you don't care about that. Diaphragm joint is usable. It's not the best one we've seen, but it's definitely good enough. It's fine. It's not great, it's fine. And then for the hips, she's got the skirt piece on here, which it'll move some, but it doesn't move that much. It seems to be connected behind the belt right there. So you can get the legs out pretty far. It flexes the skirt, and that gives you better than 45, so that's pretty good. But going forward, I suspect it won't work very well. Let's see. Yeah, you'd have to really, really try hard and force it and stretch things. So pretty limited range going forward. No range going back. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee is a little bit more limited, but that's because of the cuff and the strap right there, so that's okay. And then for the ankles, all the way back, all the way forward, ankle rocker. Not bad. So for the Marvel Legends female standards, it's about average. I'll give it a 7. Alright, and now it's time for the final verdict of this 2-pack. I told you at the front, I think this is a good example of how they should do 2-packs. And that's simply because they give you two things that you want at least a little bit. Like, everybody wanted Pyro for sure. Did everybody want this Rogue? I don't know, but it's not the kind of thing people didn't want. It's not like a throwaway character. Nobody's going to be upset to have a new Rogue in this outfit. Character choice is important in a 2-pack. I hate it when they do things like put an army builder with a main character in a 2-pack. That doesn't make sense. It should be an army builder 2-pack or a main character 2-pack. One or the other. This is a good choice. We got a decent spread of accessories. Nothing crazy, but I think this is the kind of 2-pack that makes everybody happy when they buy it. Even if the figures aren't the best in the world, these guys are 7s and 8s overall so far. It's still the kind of 2-pack people really enjoy to have. You're going to have fun opening. You enjoy both characters. Or you can just go get an army builder. You're not forced to buy an army builder with a main character. You get what I'm saying? That's my take. You guys can let me know what you think about that. But anyway, time for the final verdict of this 2-pack. All of that said, all of the previous ratings included, I'm going to give this 2-pack an 8 out of 10. I think the Phoenix and Cyclops one was a better 2-pack, but this is still a solid purchase for sure. If you're a Marvel Legends collector, you should be picking up this 2-pack. There it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So turn on the bell, turn on notifications, and make sure you come back for all of that fun stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.